Welcome back to part 10 of the Mid-Year Freakout tag. The tag where I am dedicating a single video to every question on this tag. Question 10 is, what is the biggest surprise of the year so far? And I have a few for this one. The biggest surprise is most definitely Fourth Wing. Okay, look. I was not totally expecting to just hate read this, okay? I did not expect to have as much fun as I did with it. Most of the reason I read this is because it is super wildly popular, and I wanted to know what all the fuss was about, okay? And it did not start out the greatest, because the first scene, the scene where they decide if the students are worthy to go to Dragon Academy in the first place is incredibly dumb. Okay? And I was coming up with like theories in my head as to why this could possibly be the case, because what we are told in the story makes no sense. Okay? So the book started really rough. Okay? And I was not expecting to, really have fun with a romantasy book. And it was fun, okay? I think some of the hate is overblown. I think the hype's overblown, don't get me wrong. But I think the hate's overblown too. I think with any romantasy book, honestly, just complaining about oh, it's just smutty books. Do you know how few scenes there are and how many pages you read to get there? The best part about this book is the dragons. It is 100% the dragons. The dragons are so much fun. And the dragons do not care about the politics and all of that. They literally will be we are so much bigger than you. We can eat you. We can set you on fire. What are you going to do if you disagree with us? You basically have to go along with whatever we say, because otherwise we can just eat you or set you afire or whatever we want to do. And it's hilarious because the first time this really comes about is whenever Violet bonds to the dragons, and then academy leaders are going, oh, no. This is not how it's supposed to happen. It shouldn't happen like this. And the dragons are just and what are you going to do about it? I also love the dragons because particularly Violet's dragon is not even putting up with Violet's nonsense. The dragon is just I will not put up with any nonsense. And I love it. Okay? And that's the best part of the story. Because there is a lot of academy nonsense. And the dragon is just whatever. And that's the best part. So I also kind of like the end. Because it completely rocks Violet's world. And that I enjoy that. Rocks Violet's world in maybe kind of a negative way. And I enjoy that. So I am not committed whether or not I will read the second book. But I did have more fun with this one than I expected to. Next on my most surprising books list is Clean. So this book, the reason it's on here is just because this is not a genre I typically read. This is I don't even know what to call it. It's a contemporary domestic thriller. I've seen some people argue about whether or not it would actually fit in the thriller category. And it is one that I still think about. Months later, months after I read it. This book is still on my brain. And that's why it's on here, because I did not expect to still be thinking about it. And I think part of the reason I'm still thinking about it is because it is a somewhat ambiguous ending. Honestly, I wish more books would somewhat take a risk and have a little bit more ambiguous endings, depending on the book, obviously. But I think that's why I'm still thinking about this one. And to be fair, the book answers the question. It answers the whodunit. But by the time we get to the answer, I'm not sure if I believe the narrator anymore. And that's kind of the brilliance of it, because it's like, well, I could take the story at face value and then it is a solid, conclusive ending. Or I could take the story as like, oh, this is an unreliable narrator, I'm not sure I believe her. And then it leaves it's up for interpretation. And I kind of like that. So that is why I'm still thinking about Clean all these months later. And my final, most surprising book is The Midnight Library. Now, here's the thing. I feel like The Midnight Library was so popular, and there was a lot of people praising it, and there was a lot of people saying it was terrible, and everyone in between. And I read this for book club, so I did not necessarily go out of my way to read The Midnight Library. I am almost sure, and maybe it was just clickbait titles of videos, which is probably what happened, but I thought I saw people talking about how The Midnight Library was problematic, how it was a bad representation of mental health. And after I read it, because I started reading it and I was like, oh, I'm actually enjoying my time here. After I read it, I went looking for what is problematic about it, because I missed it. I didn't see it when I was reading it. And I did see some people critiquing the certain things about the book, but I was like, okay, I read those same sections and I read it differently than this person did, so I didn't see what they're seeing. One of them is like, oh, she just has a really bad day in the beginning and that's why she wants to end it all. And I was like, I didn't think the beginning was she just had a really bad day. Yes, it was a bad day, but it was things that had been going on for years. I didn't take it as a single bad day is why she wanted to end it all. I don't know, there's just some stuff like that. And I was like, I mean, sure, if that's how someone reads it, like, I can understand that frustration, but like, I didn't have that issue with it. And I ended up liking the book much better than I expected. The book's not mind-blowing. You know exactly where the story's going whenever you start it. And it follows, like, I'm gonna say pretty much like the story conventions. Like, you know what's gonna happen. There's no surprises here. But it was still a fun and heartwarming journey. So if there's something about this book that I should know about, I guess let me know. Otherwise, it's still on my most surprising books that I've read. So chat with me in the comments about any of these or books that you were surprised about that you read this year. And I'll see you in the next video of this tag.